Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling a word you might have heard, maybe in yoga circles or spiritual texts, Brahmacharya. And let's be honest, when many people hear it, especially in the West, the mind jumps straight to one thing.
Celibacy.
Exactly. Celibacy, no sex, no pleasure. Sounds pretty restrictive, right? Almost like putting yourself in a cage.
That's definitely the common shorthand. And it can sound quite daunting, yes.
But what if that's just, the very surface, just the tip of the iceberg? What if Brahmacharya isn't really about giving up something vital, but actually about reclaiming something incredibly powerful you didn't even know you were losing? The sources we looked at put it really compellingly. It's not fundamentally about avoiding sex. It's described more like walking with power, walking into your highest potential.
Right. Think about what you gain back, your discipline, that inner fire, your focus.
Yeah, because things like, aimless scrolling, constant craving, the endless distractions we face, they don't just steal your time. The argument is they actually steal you, your essence.
And that is precisely what we want to unpack today. Our goal here is to move past that surface level idea. We want to clarify what Brahmacharya truly signifies, look at its ancient roots, understand its practical power, and really show how this concept might apply directly to your life right now. Consider this deep dive a shortcut, maybe, to grasping a principle that's far richer and, frankly, more empowering than often assumed.
Okay, so if it's about mastery, like you said, not just abstinence, how do we even start with a word like Brahmacharya? It sounds ancient, maybe a bit intimidating. Can you break down the parts for us, Brahma and Charya? What do those actually mean?
Absolutely. And the etymology, the word origin, really holds the key here. It unlocks the depth. So Brahma refers to the supreme reality, the ultimate truth, you could say, sometimes associated with creation, the divine principle.
Okay, the supreme. Got it.
And Charya. That means to walk or to move, sometimes to conduct oneself. So put them together. Brahmacharya literally means something like to walk with the supreme.
Walk with the supreme, okay.
Yes, it implies aligning your whole life, your actions, your thoughts, your energy with that higher reality, that ultimate truth. You see how that immediately shifts it. It's not about avoidance. It becomes about active, conscious alignment.
It completely reframes it. It's not suppression. It's direction, alignment. So we hear celibacy mentioned, and you said that's just one layer. What's the core insight then, the bigger picture we should grasp?
The core insight, the real aha moment, I think, is that true, Brahmacharya isn't about suppression at all. It really is about mastery. It's not about fearing your natural urges or pretending they don't exist. It's about understanding them deeply. It's about harnessing that incredible life force that we all have within us and then consciously, deliberately directing it towards higher purposes. Think of it like consciously managing your most potent energy source instead of just letting it scatter, dissipated by habits or fleeting desires you're not even fully aware of.
That makes so much more sense. And it connects to that powerful idea you mentioned earlier. Inside you is a force. It can create life or destroy you in silence. That image is strong. And it's clearly not just physical energy we're talking about, is it? It sounds more like a universal vital energy.
Exactly. It's that fundamental life force.
But how do we spot a power leak in our everyday lives? It sounds subtle. What are some ways we might be sort of leaking this energy without realizing it?
Well, that's the challenge in our modern world, isn't it? The idea is about consciously holding that force, not in fear, but with awareness, with intention. And think about it, we're constantly bombarded. Instant gratification is literally everywhere.
Oh yeah, social media, shopping.
Right, the endless scroll, the impulse buy, even just that constant twitch to check your phone. These are presented as subtle drains, energy leaks. So leaking your power really refers to that unconscious dissipation of your vital force. Through mindless consumption, chasing fleeting pleasures that don't actually satisfy, a general lack of maybe self-command. Brahmacharya then is about actively noticing those leaks and deciding to, plug them, becoming aware of where your energy is getting siphoned off, often unconsciously. And the text suggests that when you do plug those leaks, the transformation is quite remarkable. It's described almost like a positive chain reaction.
A chain reaction? How so?
Your scattered energy starts to coalesce. It becomes focused, like a laser beam instead of a floodlight.
Okay, energy becomes focus.
Right, and that focus naturally brings clarity, mental clarity. You see things more sharply.
Focus becomes clarity.
And from that clarity, a deep inner stillness can emerge, a sense of calm-centeredness, even amid chaos. Energy becomes focus. Focus becomes clarity. Clarity becomes stillness. That, in essence, is the engine of Brahmacharya.
Wow.
And it's not just, abstract spiritual stuff. This process is seen as the fuel for achieving any goal, navigating any personal growth journey, facing any challenge.
But this isn't purely theoretical, is it? We see this applied in ancient wisdom like the Bhagavad Gita. You think about Arjuna, the warrior prince. Krishna, his guide, didn't tell him to run off and become a right. He told him to fight, to engage fully in life.
Exactly. And that's a brilliant point because it directly counters the simplistic withdrawal idea.
Right. It seems like the opposite.
It highlights the practical application. If Brahmacharya was only about celibacy and retreat, Krishna's advice makes no sense. He tells Arjuna to engage in this massive, difficult battle, to fulfill his dharma, his duty. But how he tells him to fight is key. He says, essentially, fight fully, engage completely, but do it with inner stillness. Do it detached from craving for results, grounded in truth.
Inner stillness, detached from craving, while fighting a battle.
That is Brahmacharya in action. It's not running away from the world's challenges. It's meeting them from a place of profound inner mastery and non-attachment. It's about doing what needs to be done, but without being a slave to the outcomes or being yanked around by uncontrolled desires and fears. Imagine tackling your biggest challenges from that state of inner calm and focus.
Okay, that's powerful. So how do we bring that ancient idea, inner stillness, detached from craving, into our world, our crazy, hyper-stimulated 21st century lives? What does practical Brahmacharya look like today, beyond the historical or scriptural context?
Yeah, that's the crucial translation task. And I think we can pull out some clear, actionable principles that really resonate. First, it suggests consciously choosing to stop chasing instant pleasure. Not all pleasure, of course, but the habit of constant, immediate gratification seeking.
The quick fixes?
Exactly. The quick fixes that often just drain energy without giving lasting fulfillment. That endless social media scroll we mentioned, or, reaching for junk food the second boredom hits, those can be energy leaks.
Okay, stop chasing instant hits. What else?
Second, learn to breathe through your urges. This is huge. It's about cultivating self-awareness and impulse control. When an urge pops up, could be for anything, just notice it, recognize it. But don't immediately act. Create a little space. Breathe. Often it'll just pass. That's regaining mastery.
Just pausing. Creating space.
Third, the texts strongly emphasize build, create, focus. This is about actively directing that life force. Channel your energy into your work, into a creative project, into learning something new, into intense focus on what truly matters to you. Use the energy productively.
Constructive with it.
Precisely. And fourth, maybe the most direct translation of transmuting that core energy, turn your sexual energy into purpose. This is a core idea in many traditions. It's about channeling that powerful primal drive, not suppressing it, but transmuting it into creative power, ambition, sustained focus on your life's mission, whatever that may be.
Channeling, not denying. That feels so different.
Yeah.
And framing it this way, it feels much more empowering. It's not about feeling guilty or punishing yourself. It sounds like it's aimed at, personal greatness.
Exactly right. It reframes it completely.
It feels like when you choose this path, you're not losing something. You're actually starting to rediscover who you really are underneath all the noise and distraction.
That's a beautiful way to put it. The idea is when you stop constantly numbing yourself or distracting yourself with these fleeting things, you naturally start to remember. You remember who you are at your core, what your real potential is, what genuinely drives you. It's like clearing away clouds to see the sun. It's a return to your authentic self, less clouded by external static and those internal energy leaks, shedding what isn't truly you.
Okay, so it's clearly a process, a journey.
Yeah.
Not like flipping a switch. Does the tradition talk about stages or maybe levels of mastery in controlling this energy?
Yes, absolutely. It's often presented as a progression, a deepening of the practice. There are typically described 3 levels. The first level is usually called physical Brahmacharya. This is the most basic understanding.
Okay.
It means essentially no leakage, no unconscious habits relating to the physical body, particularly sexual energy. Stopping those outward habits that drain physical vitality. This is what most people think of, and often, frankly, where the exploration stops for many.
Right, the surface level we talked about.
Exactly. Then the second level goes deeper, mental Brahmacharya. This involves no lustful thinking, no fantasy traps. Here, the discipline moves inward to the mind itself.
Controlling thoughts.
Yes, it's about preventing your mind from constantly dwelling in, say, unconstructive fantasies or desires that just churn energy without purpose. Instead, you intentionally redirect that mental focus. It's about cultivating mental discipline.
Okay, physical then mental. What's the third?
The third level is where true mastery is said to begin. Energetic Brahmacharya. This is described as total presence, total direction, total inner fire. It's the deepest level.
Total presence, inner fire. Sounds intense.
It is. At this stage, it's not just about controlling actions or even specific thoughts, but about having a kind of command over your entire energetic field, your life force. That energy is fully present, fully available, and consciously directed towards your highest purpose. It creates this profound inner vitality that fuels everything.
Wow.
So while many might get stuck at level 1, the real potential, the true blossoming of the practice happens as you move towards level 3, transcending the more superficial energy drains and harnessing that raw power for a truly elevated way of being.
So wrapping this up, thinking about everything we've discussed, it seems crystal clear that Brahmacharya isn't some kind of, ancient punishment or cage.
Not at all.
It's really presented as a choice, a powerful one. To stop just reacting to everything around you, to stop trying to escape discomfort maybe, to live more intentionally aligned, to, as you said, walk with power. It sounds less like restriction and actually much more like real freedom.
And that really is the ultimate takeaway, I believe. The goal isn't reached because you fear desire or because you're weak and have to suppress it. No, the ideal is cultivating such immense inner strength, such deep awareness, that you've actually transcended the need for that uncontrolled, reactive desire.
You're not controlled by the urges anymore.
Exactly. You're in the driver's seat. You control and consciously direct that powerful energy towards your highest aspirations, towards realizing your greatest potential. It's about sovereignty over your inner world.
So for you listening right now, digesting all of this, maybe ask yourself, what's one small daily choice you could make, starting today, to reclaim even a little piece of your focus, a bit of that energy? How could you turn a potential leak into purposeful action? And how might this idea we explored, inner stillness detached from craving, how might that apply to a challenge you're facing right now? Could it help you navigate it with more power, more clarity?
Something to really reflect on.
Definitely something to think about. The path to that deeper self-mastery, that inner power, it's always there. It's always a choice available to you.